Well, Jim and Sally, thank you so much for coming this afternoon to chat with me. So I've got 3 questions about how you've benefited from VOS. So the first one is, what brought you and Sally to VOS in the first place?
I needed to get some mail company which understood me, you know, fellow people from the forces and from the Merchant Navy. And we read about it and come down here and we found out that this was just about right for me, wasn't it? And
I spotted the advert in the British Legion magazine, and for a long time poor Jim has been almost without male companionship, because he used to belong to a men's shed, but obviously over lockdown that had to cease, and when lockdown was lifted the shed actually closed down, so he was left at home listening to me and 4 cats and basically ageing before his time through lack of contact with other people. So when I saw the advert, I said to Jim, should we give them a call? And he was off, let's go and see what they've got anyway to offer. And as soon as we were both well enough, because I fell over and broke my leg the week after, we were straight, timing is perfect. I came straight down with him for one of the monthly musters, and we had a look round the room with all the people that were available to help, and really neither of us have looked back ever since.
Oh, that's fantastic. So the second question is, what benefits would you say you have got from being with VOS and the wellbeing activities?
Me first?
Yeah, go on.
Me first, because I'm Jim's carer, I have now a lot more active respite, which is time when I don't have to focus 100% on Jim. I can focus on crafting activities, social activities, just chatting to people. You see, I always was under the impression that women could talk and talk and talk, but actually you get 3 or 4 men together and you have no chance. They can beat us hollow. And it's so nice to see him sat with 3 or 4 other chaps, some from the armed forces, some from the Merchant Navy, but all of them with the same companionship, and so I can leave him safe. Well, yeah, safe, to enjoy himself without having to worry. What would you say you've got out of it?
Well, I can get into with a bunch of chaps that have got the same attitude to life as I have, you know. Let's enjoy ourselves when we can. We have to be a little bit careful what we say, but
naval humour, be it Merchant Navy or
Merchant,
Royal Navy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
definitely
a sense of humour all on its own.
So another question for you both. What message would you say to other Merchant Navy veterans who need help?
I'd advise them to come here. In fact, I'd be honoured to be able to talk to somebody and get them to come here. I have spoken to a couple of people. I've asked them, are you in the ex-forces, you know, and I said, yeah, and I said, do you know about it? He said, oh, you know, what do you do? I said, well, we do all sorts of things and say what I've done, and I said, and also you can get advice. You know, it's a place you can go and get advice if you've got a problem. It's
not that you're offering a service directly, but you know who to put us in touch with, and that is a huge burden off someone like myself's shoulders, who's the carer, but no matter how many signposts you get given from various different areas, to know that a service-related link is available makes things so much easier, so much more accessible. And all the crafting activities that we do, they help lift your spirits. Jim, since he's been coming to VOS, has reverted in mood to the Jim I knew before he was diagnosed with Alzheimer's.
Before we were married.
friends. Well, some of the language is definitely before we were married, but, and we've been married 36 years, so you can imagine it's quite a shock, some of the phrases, but you know, it's humour. And people who sit at home and look at four walls or just the television screen, they can come here and they can play Skittles. We have craft nights where they can come along. Some of the guys I notice have brought along their packs of cards and they play cribbage.
Yeah.
There's they sit up in the bar. There's quite a few people up there now just being sociable and talking, and they get friendship, and you're not alone anymore. It's just that, and the crafts have made him realise that he can do things with his hands. When before we came along, he was just sitting at home going, well, I'm useless, what am I here for? I'm no use to anybody. Well, now he's making things that he can give out as gifts, things that he can show people and be proud of. You know, and he's got things to look forward to. I mean, the boat trips, you know, he loves the boat trips. And yes, okay, so he's mobility challenged, but the guys at Voss can work around it. They understand it, they can help him, you know. It's a new lease of life.
Fantastic.
Really is. So I would say to anyone,
No,
come along. We've mentioned it to local health organisations, to the GP surgery, and Jim's seen people when we've been out and about, and if they've got, you know, any forces badges or anything, he does say to them, you know, are you a member of Voss? Do you go down to the club? And if not, then here's a bit of information about it, and he, you know, the more the better.
My son was quite envious when I told him I'd been on a gunboat.
Really? Yeah.
And he'd love to do that, but he lives in Australia.
Oh.
But he's Royal Navy ex.
Yes,
you know, so.
Yeah, he's ex-Royal Navy.
Well, if he ever comes for a visit, then
We'll be bringing him down.
bring him
we'll
down.
bring him
Yes,
down.
definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, both of you, and I really appreciate this. So, yeah, thank you.